I've never seen a fish go, hold on, that's not a top of the line reel. I'm not going to go ahead and bite that bait. Something real simple like that. When you're just starting out, you don't need a frog setup and a Texas rig setup and a crankbait setup. Right in the middle, they can cover all your bases.
Setting the hook with Jose.
What's up, family? It's Jose, and welcome to Setting the Hook. If there is any silver lining to the craziness going on in the world right now is that a lot of people are going outdoors and realizing like how great it is to be outdoors. Not just only to be outdoors, but to actually go fishing. So what I've compiled today are my 5 tips for the fisherman that's just starting out, because a lot of people don't know where to start. So hopefully this video helps you get out there and get on some fish. Before I start though, I want to go ahead and ask y'all to please hit that like and that subscribe down below. We couldn't do it without the views. We always appreciate all the positive comments, the positive feedback that we get back. And the KastKing channel is more than just showing off products. It's also about tips and tricks. You get tips and tricks from not only your everyday fishermen, but also, MLF, FLW, pros, and so on. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe down below. Now let's go ahead and get started. Number 5, let's talk about gear. You don't need to go out and buy the most expensive, the best gear out there. It is not mandatory, especially for a beginner. I've never seen a fish go, hold on, that's not a top of the line reel. I'm not gonna go ahead and bite that bait. It's all about your presentation. Of course, you want to have quality gear that you can rely in, but don't feel the need to go out there and get the top of the line rod, the top of the line reel. It's not needed. Not only that, a lot of times, a lot of that stuff is so technique specific or so sensitive to the way you utilize it, you're going to get frustrated and throw it away. Number 4, let's talk about techniques. There are a billion different techniques out there. Neko rig, Tokyo rigs, Chica rigs, this rig, that rig. Find 1 or 2 that you are going to work with and concentrate on those 2. Go out there and fish and don't use anything else. Just utilize that rig. Number 3, where are you fishing? Oklahoma, we're lucky because we have everything from small city ponds to large city and state Corps engineer lakes. So a lot of people will go out to these big bodies of water, fish off, some of their fishing points where everyone's at, go fishing a few times and like, well, I never catch anything. If I went out to those points, even though I have experience fishing, I'm not going to catch anything either, because that might be a great place for people to hang out, drink a few beers and try to catch a catfish. But if you're fishing for bass, that pier probably isn't the best spot for it, or not necessarily a pier, that dock or wherever you're fishing. So look at where you're fishing. If it's big body to water, you got to look at points, secondary points, drop-offs, ledges. There's enough charts and information out there to kind of look at ambush points of where a fish would be hiding to get its next meal. If you're fishing on smaller bodies of water, ponds, the way you attack a pond is much different from the way you would attack big water. And that kind of goes into my next point of attacking water. So if you're fishing a pond, I like to attack it in layers: top, middle, and then bottom. So to kind of just put that in perspective, even though if it's a small pond and it's 90 degrees out, guess what? They still might be hitting top water. Just because it's a pond, it's different. The fish react differently. I've caught good sized fish on a whopper plopper in 95-degree heat in the middle of the day. Would that happen on big water? Probably not. But so attack it at different layers. Throw something in top water, like, I don't know, whopper plopper, because that's easy. Just cast it out, retrieve it back. Then attack the middle if there's nothing there. And when I say attack the middle, something like a weightless Senko wacky rigged Senko, something that's going to be able to stay in that middle water column. And then if that doesn't work, and you know the fish are hanging out on the bottom, they can go to the bottom. You can throw a small jig to a Texas rig or something like that. Number 2, information. There is an absolute information overload on the internet. Pay attention to where they're talking about. You know, if I'm talking about what works here in Oklahoma, or if I go fishing out in Texas, that's much different from when I go fishing in Colorado, or if I go back to California, to San Diego and fish. Much different. So pay attention to where you're at. The information, try to look for people that are fishermen in your area. YouTube it, look at it, and gain some of that information. My number one suggestion is to just go out there with one rod and reel, your tackle box, and just keep it simple. Let me show y'all what I mean by keeping it simple. This is a 6-foot 2-piece Centron combo. It comes with a Centron 2000 reel. It's an IM6 Torre carbon blank, just regular stainless steel brights. I mean, it's simple, super simple. This is like under $60. This combo right here has caught more fish for me and more different species of fish than any of my other combos. Why? Because it's simple, easy. I can just cast it out there and come back with. I've caught catfish, you know, when I set it up for a catfishing rig. I've caught small, tiny panfish, and I've caught good sized bass just with this combo right here. As you can see right on there, it's just a small jig head with a little crawl like. So if I'm gonna go to a small pond, or like my son's high school, they have a pond with some decent sized fish over there. So if I show up to pick him up after practice or something like that, and he's like, oh, we're still practicing, guess what? Pull this right out the back of my SUV and start fishing. So keep it simple. Something real simple like that. You don't, when you're just starting out, you don't need a frog setup and a Texas rig setup and a crankbait setup. You know, find something that's right in the middle that can cover all your bases. Throw you a Texas rig or a small ball head jig like that with a creature bait on it. So I hope these 5 tips will help you out if you're just starting. You know, it's amazing how many people have started fishing like that, and they're realizing that how great it is just to get out there and catch fish. You don't necessarily have to catch fish, but just to be outdoors and be out there. It's an amazing thing. But anyways, if you like what I'm putting out, leave me a comment down below. Tell me if there's any specific technique that you would like to see. You know, let me know. Anyways, Jose, and thanks for watching.